Hey, how's it going? This is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads, and today I'll be walking you through your digital marketing attack plan to show you how you can turn your website into a lead generation machine and really generate some revenue for your business month over month. Now, if you take a look at the top here, we're looking at Colorado Springs Roofing, which generates about 1,000 searches every single month. Now, obviously, there's a lot more search volume out there when you take into account search terms like, roof installation, roof repair, roofing near me. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to focus on this one search term and show you how you can turn these 1,000 searches a month into revenue for your business. So let's start by taking a look at your website. So here we are on your website, more specifically your Colorado Springs page. And if we scroll down here, I think you have a very visually aesthetic website. However, if we want people to be able to find our website online, there's a few things that we're going to have to touch up in order to make that happen. So let's start by talking about internal search engine optimization, which is essentially all the things that we can do from within your website to help increase your overall search appearance. Now, normally when you hear that, you're going to hear things like title tags, heading tags, local business schema. And while those are all very important, for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on the two most important aspects, which are content and keywords. Now, let's talk about content first. Why do we want a very contentful website, or why is content so important? Well, content gives users something to engage with, and ultimately, when a user has something to engage with, they tend to have a better experience and are more likely to come back to your website or to Google for future searches. So it makes sense that Google would promote this contentful website as it's essentially a win-win situation for them. Now, normally I like to recommend about 750 to 1,000 words on any given page. Obviously, you've definitely exceeded that on this page, and that's really great for you. However, like I said, we can't just rank with content. We need to make sure that it's relevant because ultimately, yes, we can throw 10,000 words on a page, but it's not going to rank if our content isn't relevant. And the way that we make sure our content is relevant is with our keywords. Keywords are the most used words or phrases on a web page, and based on these keywords, we are going to give Google vital information about our business, such as what we do, where we do it, and ultimately who we are. So let's take a look at your keywords and see what type of information we're giving Google so far. A tool I use called Keywords Everywhere, and if we scroll down a little bit, we're going to notice your most used keywords. So for the sake of time in this video, we're just going to focus on the first six. So let's kind of jump into it here. Now, at your number one and two keywords, I always recommend that you have your most industry specific keywords. So number one should be roofing, and you'll see that's a very popular keyword amongst your competitors. And then number two, I always recommend some sort of complement keyword. So in this case, if we have roofing at number one, we'll probably want, maybe home if we do more residential jobs. If we're trying to target a specific service, we might want repair or installation. But ultimately, I think roof is a good one at number two. So I would have roofing at number one, roof at number two. Then number three and four, we want our location-based keywords. So I noticed that you started working in it already, but we're going to want to bump Colorado Springs up to number three. Ultimately, those location-based keywords are super important because they are going to tell Google exactly where we do business and help drive that local traffic. So number three, your city. Number four, your state. And then number five and six, we're going to want to put our brand in there. Now, the reason we want our brand in there is because, yes, we're going to get searches for people looking for Colorado Springs roofing or roofing companies. However, we're also going to get people looking directly for our brand. And when people do that, we want to make sure we appear for those searches. And the only way to do that is if we have our brand within our top few keywords. So definitely something to think about. Now, just to recap, because we went through it pretty quickly, one and two, industry-specific keywords. Three and four, location-based keywords. And five and six, we want our branding-based keywords. Now, let's take a look at your competitors and see what they're doing as far as content and keywords go. So here we have Divine Roofing, and they rank on the first page organically for Colorado Springs Roofing, and let's see why. So you're going to notice that they have a ton of content on this page. Like I said, that's really doing a favorable job for them. Obviously, you have a lot more content on your page, so that isn't an SEO aspect that we are really beating them in. But let's take a look at their keywords because, like I said, you can't just rank with content. We need our keywords to be in line as well to remain relevant. So here we are, we're back to keywords everywhere. And if we scroll down here, you're going to notice that they have roofing at number one, roof at number two, then Colorado Springs at three, commercial, residential. So a few different industry specific keywords and a few different variations. Ultimately, I recommend that you look at this list, use it for some suggestions, as well as the suggestions I gave you, kind of combine those together to create the strongest keywords list possible. And you should really start to see the relevance of your website go up. However, let's go back to your website and talk about external search engine optimization and how it really ties into everything here. So we're back to your website and we're talking about external SEO, which is essentially all the different things that we can do away from your website to help increase your overall search appearance. Now, in this case, we'll be talking about backlinking, which is very simple at face value, just a link from one website to another. However, from an SEO perspective, a lot more is happening. When you get a backlink or when you link to another website, you are essentially saying that you trust the information that comes from that website or that you trust the business that is being represented by that website. So, a very powerful statement to Google, and ultimately it can help increase our rankings and tell Google that we are a quality business. However, we really have to focus in on the word quality because if we get links from harmful or spammy sites, it can ultimately tell Google that we are a harmful or spammy site and drop our rankings significantly. So we don't want that to happen. We really want to focus in on quality backlinks. So let's take a look at your overall backlink structure currently and see what you've been doing so far. So here we are in a tool I use called Ahrefs, and you'll see your website generates an 8 UR, a 17 DR, which generates you about one organic user every single month and about $4 worth of traffic value. Now, what do these metrics mean? Well, UR stands for URL rating, and what that is the individual power that goes to a single page. So in this case, it would just be your Colorado Springs roofing page. Whereas DR, on the other hand, stands for domain rating. And what that is the power that goes through your entire website. So not just that singular page, but also any other location pages you have, any service pages you have, all summarized in DR. Now, we're going to want the strongest of both metrics to create the strongest ranking strategy possible, along with a strong internal SEO structure, and that should create a lot of traffic value for us. Now, that's going to bring me to our next stat, which is traffic value. Traffic value is a measure of the buyer intent of each user based on the keyword that they come from. So, for instance, somebody looking for roofs doesn't carry as much traffic value as somebody looking for roof repair or roof installation. Now, the reason that is that somebody looking for roofs might be looking for a picture of a roof, a roofing article. We don't necessarily know what they're looking for. Whereas somebody looking for roof repair or roof installation, 9 times out of 10 is looking for a direct service to purchase. Thus, they transfer a lot more value. Now, like I said, we want the strongest of all these metrics to create the best strategy possible. So let's take a look at your competitors and see what they're doing as far as external SEO metrics go. So we have Divine Roofing here again with a 38 UR and 11 DR, generates about roughly 300 users every single month and a traffic value of roughly $4,000. So definitely a clear correlation between a strong SEO structure and the amount of value you can generate. But let's keep working down the line here. So we have Total Roofing Company with a 29 UR, a 19 DR, generates them about 373 users every single month, and about $8,000 worth of traffic value. So this is a case where their internal SEO is a lot stronger, but they still have that external SEO side, so they are reaping the benefits. If we keep working down the list here, we have AmeriPro with an 11 UR, a 27 DR, generates about 250 users every single month and about $5,000 worth of traffic value. So, like I said, a clear correlation between a strong SEO structure and the amount of value that you can really generate for your business. But let's go back to the Google search engine results page and talk about the Google Map Pack for a second. So here we are back at the Google search engine results page, and if we scroll down, what we've been talking about is down here in the organic search results, but if we go back up, we also have this map pack here, and this map pack is super important because it gives our business a second place that we can win on Google. We can win down below like we talked about, or we can win in the map pack, and if we can do both, we essentially guarantee that 1,000 people every single month see our business first before looking at another competitor. So a lot of value in here, a lot of potential. And ultimately, to get in the map pack, we have to first verify our business via postcard with Google, which is 100% free to do. But to rank in the map pack, we have to adhere to the different factors that they're looking for. Number one, they look for that you filled out their form to 100%. The reason I say 100% is because the more information you give them, the more reputable your business looks. Number two, they're looking for a strong organic presence, which is why SEO is so important, because not only does it help you down below, but it also influences the map pack. And number three, what they're looking for is that your business has citations. Now, citations are all the different places your business's name, address, and phone number are listed online. Some popular citations are things like Yelp, Facebook, Yellow Pages, Instagram. All those are different citations you can give for your business, and they all help with the Google Map Pack. So let's take a look at how many citations each of these companies has and determine how many you'll need to really go in and start outranking them. So here we are in a tool I use called WhiteSpark, and you'll see Premier Roofing Company has 27 citations, Divine Roofing Company, or I should say Divine Roofing Inc., has 24, and Rampart Roofing Inc. has 47. Now, normally I recommend you double the biggest amount in here, so if there's 47 citations, we are going to need 94 citations on top of our internal and external SEO structure to really go in and outrank these guys. Now, that's all I really have for you in this video. If you do these steps, you should start to see some increase in the amount of traffic and the amount of revenue your business can really generate online and really increase your overall search appearance. But once again, that's all I have for you. My name is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads. I'd love to set up a meeting with you guys to talk about anything, or I should say any questions you have on this video, maybe things that were mentioned, maybe things that weren't mentioned. Whatever it is, feel free to click the button at the bottom of our email to set up that meeting. And once again, I hope this was very educational, and thanks for watching.